Scout Automobile, welcome back. Close your eyes for a moment, and imagine standing alone in the middle of a dark empty street somewhere deep in the future, where silence suddenly breaks with the sound of raw American thunder approaching from the distance. Slowly, headlights begin glowing through the darkness, sharp, aggressive, almost intimidating, and then finally, it appears the 2026 Chevrolet Camaro SS concept, not quietly, not politely, but with the same aggressive attitude that made the Camaro name legendary for generations. This is a conceptual vision inspired by future performance possibilities and modern muscle car imagination. And the very first thing you see is the rear. The camera slowly circles toward the back of the car while the engine idles deeply like a beast waiting to attack. The rear design looks unbelievably wide and muscular. A full-width LED taillight bar stretches across the back with glowing red illumination, cutting through the darkness like burning lava. The illuminated Chevrolet emblem shines at the center while the aggressive SS badge sits proudly beneath it. The rear bumper looks massive, sculpted with sharp aerodynamic edges and deep performance vents that make the entire car feel race-ready. Lower down, a gigantic carbon fiber diffuser dominates the bottom section while quad exhaust outlets sit perfectly integrated into the design, and then the engine revs, the exhaust explodes with a deep violent growl that echoes through the empty street. Small flames burst from the exhaust pipes for a split second, before disappearing into the night air. The entire ground almost feels like it vibrates beneath the car. This is not just transportation anymore. This feels like pure muscle car energy reborn for the future. As the camera continues moving slowly around the vehicle, the rear tires come into focus. Massive ultra-wide performance tires wrapped around black forged wheels give the Camaro an incredibly planted stance. The wheel arches are muscular and aggressive, almost looking stretched over the tires like the car contains too much power to stay controlled. Then slowly, the camera begins moving toward the front of the vehicle, and suddenly the entire personality changes. The front design of the 2026 Camaro SS concept looks absolutely terrifying. Ultra-thin laser LED headlights glow sharply beneath an aggressive hood line, while the front grille stretches wider and lower than previous generations. The black mesh intake design gives the car an angry expression, like it's staring directly at you. The front splitter sits extremely low to the pavement with carbon fiber aerodynamic fins sculpted around the corners for maximum airflow. Massive air intakes dominate both sides of the bumper, feeding cold air toward the brakes and engine systems. But the hood steals all attention instantly. Long, wide, muscular, and filled with aggressive heat extraction vents that hint at the monstrous power hidden underneath. Sharp body creases run across the surface, creating reflections that constantly shift under city lights. And underneath that hood could live one of the craziest powertrains ever imagined for a Camaro SS. Some imagine a supercharged V8 returning one last time with over 700 horsepower screaming through quad exhaust pipes. Others believe Chevrolet could combine twin-turbo power with hybrid electric torque, creating acceleration powerful enough to challenge modern supercars. Either way, this concept makes one thing clear: the Camaro future should never become boring. As the engine revs harder, the camera moves toward the front left side of the vehicle. Now the side profile becomes visible, and honestly, this may be the most beautiful angle of the entire car. The front left quarter reveals how low and wide the Camaro truly is. The long hood flows aggressively toward the windshield while the roofline sweeps backward smoothly into a fastback-inspired rear section. The proportions look absolutely perfect for a modern American muscle machine. Gloss black side mirrors, carbon fiber side skirts, deep sculpted body lines, massive front fender vents. Every detail works together to make the car feel fast even while standing still. The wheel design looks futuristic yet aggressive, with performance brake calipers glowing behind the spokes. Carbon ceramic brake rotors fill the wheels completely, hinting at extreme stopping power for high-speed driving. Rain slowly begins falling onto the bodywork while city lights reflect beautifully across the metallic paint surface. Depending on the angle, the car changes color slightly. Sometimes deep black, sometimes dark metallic gray, sometimes subtle crimson reflections hidden beneath the paint. Even the paint feels alive. Then the driver door opens, and suddenly attention moves inside the cabin. The dashboard of the 2026 Camaro SS concept looks futuristic without losing the driver-focused atmosphere Camaro fans love. Instead of feeling like a luxury spaceship, the cockpit feels tight, aggressive, performance-focused. A giant curved digital display stretches across the dashboard, combining the instrument cluster and infotainment system into one seamless futuristic panel. Red ambient lighting glows softly throughout the cabin, while carbon fiber trim pieces surround the center console and dashboard edges. The steering wheel looks thick and race-inspired with illuminated SS branding sitting proudly at the center. Aluminum paddle shifters extend behind the wheel while aircraft-inspired toggle switches line the lower dashboard controls. The seats look incredible. Deep bucket seats wrapped in black Alcantara, with red stitching and illuminated Camaro logos integrated into the headrests. Every surface inside the cabin feels performance-oriented rather than luxurious for the sake of luxury. Because this car was imagined for drivers, real drivers, the digital display suddenly activates performance mode. Horsepower numbers appear, torque distribution graphics begin moving, G-force telemetry lights up, launch control activates. Exhaust valves open completely, and instantly the atmosphere inside the cabin changes from futuristic sports car into full race machine. The engine sound becomes louder, sharper, more violent. As the camera moves slowly toward the back left side of the vehicle, the Camaro begins rolling through the city streets beneath glowing neon reflections. The back left angle reveals the aggressive rear haunches perfectly. The muscular shoulders over the rear wheels look unbelievably powerful, almost like the car is permanently flexing its muscles. The taillight reflections glow beautifully across wet pavement, while the rear diffuser channels air aggressively underneath the car. Tiny aerodynamic details hidden around the rear bumper become visible from this angle, including carbon vents and integrated airflow channels. And then suddenly, the driver floors the accelerator. The rear tires instantly spin, smoke explodes behind the car. The Camaro launches forward violently while the exhaust screams through the tunnel walls like thunder. Streetlights blur across the bodywork as the car accelerates harder and harder through the city. This is what Camaro has always represented, not quiet luxury. Not calm sophistication, pure excitement, pure adrenaline, pure American muscle energy. As the camera transitions toward the back right side of the vehicle, the sunrise finally begins appearing across the skyline. Golden light reflects across the sculpted bodywork while steam rises softly from the hood vents after aggressive driving through the night. The back right angle might actually be the most intimidating perspective yet. From here the car looks brutally wide. The rear wheel arches dominate the silhouette while the taillight bar stretches endlessly across the back like glowing red fire. The exhaust tips continue rumbling deeply even at idle, making the entire car feel alive. The suspension sits low and aggressive against the pavement while reflections from the sunrise move slowly across the glossy paint, and then the Camaro stops completely beside the coastline highway. For a moment, silence. Only ocean waves. Soft engine vibrations, and glowing headlights reflecting against the morning fog. The camera slowly moves around the entire vehicle one final time, showing every aggressive detail imagined into this futuristic muscle machine. The sharp front fascia, the sculpted hood, the massive wheels, the glowing taillights, the futuristic cockpit. Everything designed to keep the Camaro spirit alive in a world rapidly changing around it. Because the Camaro was never just another car. It became part of car culture itself. Part of street racing history, part of muscle car heritage, part of people's memories growing up hearing V8 engines roaring through summer nights. And this concept imagines what happens when that legendary spirit meets the future without losing its soul. As the final scene begins, the driver presses the start button once more. The engine erupts violently back to life. The headlights illuminate the empty highway ahead. The exhaust growls deeply through the cold morning air. And slowly the 2026 Chevrolet Camaro SS concept disappears into the horizon, surrounded by sunlight, tire smoke, and the echo of pure American performance, not as a goodbye, but as a warning. The Camaro legend still has unfinished business.